Hey my loves, you can call me Lashe, and today we'll be cutting and sewing this cleanly finished Aso Oke Baggy Trouser with inner pockets and drawstrings. So make sure you watch till the very end and check out the timestamps, as I'm sure you'll learn one or two things before the end of this video. Now don't forget to leave a like, drop your questions in the comment section and subscribe to my channel. Let's move. For this trouser, we'll be making use of a bundle of Aso Oke, and there's typically 8 pieces in a bundle. The first thing you want to do is separate your panels, as Aso Oke comes in one continuous piece. To separate the continuous piece, you need to factor in yours or your client's measurements plus hem allowance, but make sure to reduce the inches of the waistband you'll be adding, unless for whatever reason you won't be adding a waistband. For this client, our full length is 41 inches, which should be 44 inches with the added allowance. So with your established length, go ahead and cut out duplicate panels. I normally make use of 6 panels for the front and 8 panels for the back. So that will be 3 panels on the right leg and 3 panels on the left leg for the front of your trouser. When you're done cutting out the 6 panels for the front, you can go ahead and make use of the same panel to cut out 6 panels for the back of the trouser as well. For this trouser, instead of making it 8 panels at the back, I'll make it about 7 panels. Don't worry, you'll see what I mean in a minute. Now that we have 6 panels each for both the front and back, the next thing is to cut out that 7th panel that I talked about earlier for the back. I mentioned earlier that I normally use 8 panels for the back, but this style this client is going for doesn't warrant the trouser to be excessively big. So the implication of that is, instead of cutting 2 extra panels for the back, I'll go ahead and divide 1 panel into 2. But for this trouser, I want there to be a continuous flow in the pattern of the Aso Oke. So instead of dividing just 1 panel into 2, what I'll do is cut out 2 panels of the same length as the front and back, and cut out this wine patch you can see me cutting. So these 2 stripes are what I'll be adding to the back, just so the back is wider than the front, which is the norm when it comes to trousers. Once done cutting, the next thing is to pin the panels down appropriately, so there's no mistake when it's time to join the panels together. And speaking of joining Aso Oke panels together, you can click on this floating card to watch a detailed video of me breaking down the do's and don'ts when it comes to joining Aso Oke panels. You can give that a watch right after this video. I'll be sure to link it in the description box as well. But for a brief explanation, join the 3 panels together for the front for both the right and left leg, and join the 3.5 panels for the back as well for both the right and left leg. So now you have 4 panels, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. When you're done joining, make sure to open all the seams and give it a very good press, keeping the seams open. After this, pick out both back panels and place them right sides facing each other, making sure to pin them down so they don't end up shifting. And then place your already drafted pattern paper onto the back panels. Once both pattern paper and Aso Oke panels are properly aligned and pinned down, you can go ahead and mark out 2 inches away from the crotch line, because you know this pattern paper is for the front and we're currently cutting out the back panels of our Aso Oke. From the crotch line on the front pattern paper, come down by 1 inch and connect all these points with your chalk, not forgetting that we're currently cutting the back panels, so the size has to be about 2 to 3 inches wider than the front panel. So be sure not to cut out this extra material, okay? Go ahead and cut out the ruled out line on your crotch area. For the waistline of the back panel, you can add about 0.5 to 1 inch above the crotch line and connect to the waistline, after which you can cut that out as well. This is just to make sure it properly hugs the waist at the back. For the front pattern, all you have to do is place your already drafted pattern paper and cut out the crotch line. You can come down by 0.5 or 1 inch at your crotch line, just so your trouser has a better fitting at the waistline. Now that we're done with that, it's time to move to the invisible pocket for those of us who would be attaching pockets. I already have a drafted pattern for my pockets, but for those who don't have or are not sure how to go about this, these are the measurements I made use of. The length is 12 inches, the width is 9 inches, and you just have to connect both points with a curved line. So use this to cut out 4 pieces of the material you want to use for your pockets. I'm using this gorgeous wine colored material because it's the material I'll be using for a part of this client's top, and the color is also closely similar to that of the Aso Oke trouser. Once you're done cutting, mark out about 7 to 8 inches for the pocket opening. And from that 8 inches, sew a straight line with a 1-inch sewing allowance down and across to the top of the pocket, just like I'm marking out, to create your pocket pouch. Repeat this for the other side and make sure to overlock all the raw edges. To attach the pocket to your trouser, pick one front panel and one back panel and place them right sides facing each other. And on the side, measure and mark down about 7 inches from your waistline. Ignore the markings that I'm doing in this video. I wanted to use another method to insert my pocket, but I decided against that. From that marked down 8 inches, join the front and back panel together with a straight stitch using a 1-inch sewing allowance. I truly cannot overemphasize the importance of ironing all your seams open, especially when working with Aso Oke fabric. The result of this is the clean finish you're currently looking at. Now, to attach your pocket to your trouser, have the wrong side of your Aso Oke facing up and pin the right side of your pocket pouch to the wrong side of your Aso Oke, making sure the seam line between the pocket and the Aso Oke properly align. Make use of your pins to hold the seam allowance of both your pocket and Aso Oke on one side. Take this to your sewing machine and join with a straight line, making sure to stop at that point where the seams are aligned. Flip to the other side and repeat the same thing, pinning down, taking to your sewing machine and sewing from that aligned seam to the waistline. Once you're done with this, use your Aso Oke seam allowance to cover the pocket seam allowance and make use of a straight stitch to join both your pocket and Aso Oke together so that the pocket is sitting in the right place by the time you want to join your trouser with your waistband. Make sure to repeat this on the second leg as well. The next thing is joining both right and left leg together by the crotch line. So use a straight stitch and a 0.5 inches sewing allowance to connect both panels together, and make sure to go over the raw edges with your overlocking machine to avoid fraying. Obviously, repeat this for the crotch line at the back as well. After that, join the inseam of your trouser with a 1-inch sewing allowance. The easiest and cleanest way to do this is by aligning and pinning both seams and running a straight stitch from that aligned seam to the right side. Come back to that aligned seam and run a straight stitch to the left as well. That way you don't have misaligned seam lines at your crotch line. After this, go ahead and hem the hemline of your trouser, making use of the hem allowance you added earlier. If you're unsure of the allowance, measure the current full length of your trouser, making sure to subtract the waistband measurement. That should give you your hem allowance. Once done with this, give everything a very good press before we move to attaching our waistband to the trouser. I believe we've gotten to the easiest part. For your band, measure and cut out the circumference of your trouser. To achieve this, place your trouser on a flat surface and measure from one side to the other. Obviously, this measurement is just half of your waist circumference, so multiply whatever you get by 2. For example, I think mine was about 24 inches, so the circumference would be 48 inches. The length of your band depends on the length of elastic you're using. I'm making use of a 2 inches elastic band, so I would need about 2.5 inches by the time I'm done creating a casing for my elastic band. So that means I would need my band's length to be 3 inches, but because it's on fold, that means I will cut out 6 inches. So by the time I fold it into 2, it will give me 3 inches. Once you're done cutting this out, iron hair stay onto the wrong side of your band and join the sides of your cutout band with a straight stitch to form the circumference of your waist. If you'd like to insert a drawstring, this is where you need to create your eyelets. I'll link below a very detailed video of me explaining how to create eyelets. Now that we've inserted our waistband and drawstrings, the only thing that is left is to join our waistband to our trouser. The easiest way is to pin what I like to call the 4 cardinal points together at the front, the back, and both sides. Take this to your sewing machine and with a 0.5 inches sewing allowance, run a straight stitch connecting your waistband to your trouser. This is what we have, guys. You can see how neat and clean it is looking. The drawstrings, the eyelets, everything is looking as clean as possible. I've gone ahead to overlock the seam allowance between the trouser and the elastic band. You can see how seamless the pocket is looking as well. You most likely won't even notice there's a pocket there until someone puts their hands inside because of the invisible way we join the pockets to the trouser. And the material of the pocket is ridiculously soft, guys. And here is the final look. You cannot tell me this does not look regal. I love the color combination, even though to be honest, I didn't like the colors at first, but now that I'm looking at the finished product, it looks exceptionally beautiful and neat. I cannot wait to see this piece on my client. And I'm sure yours came out just as beautiful as well. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. You guys are the stars. If you watched to this point, make sure you drop a star emoji in the comment section so I can personally thank you. Feel free to drop any questions you might have as well. Please, my loves, give this video a thumbs up to support this channel. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to turn on your post notification so you get notified immediately after I post. Until the next video, bye!